season was a storybook season.
I'd just say all around fun. I mean, from day one, I mean, all the guys of the team are just unbelievable. We're all best friends. We all hung out together.
That's what I hope this season is, the foundation for a tradition to start.
And if there's one thing these guys have done the past several years, it's they persevered and worked hard till they got what they wanted to get.
This season was unforgettable. You won't forget about it.
I would say this season was the most successful hockey season that I've ever been a part of.
One word, phenomenal. That's all you can say. It was phenomenal.
And Vermont back at center ice. Left wing side, Eric Lavoie across Phil Eberle scores! Eberle from Lavoie!
It was a very close team, a great group of guys to work with, and a talented bunch.
Unforgettable. Never forget about that season.
This championship season began here in the famed Gutterson Fieldhouse, actually long before the first game was played.
We look for the most skilled kids we can find, both forwards and defensemen. So a little bit of it is, the best talent that we can find out there.
You have to go by a certain degree of positional recruitment because you couldn't have all forwards or all defensemen, but you also have to blend in the fact that you can't pass up the best kid. I think one of the realizations that we came to several years ago was that we just weren't getting the premier blue chipper out of, say, Boston or Minneapolis. On occasion, we came real close. We were very close on the Drurys, the Robertses, the Hineses, guys like that. We ended up coming in the number 2 school in lots of cases. So I think we went back to what Jimmy used to do, and when he had his great teams, the premier kids were from across the border, or most of them were from across the border, and there were some good Americans, but I just think that it made more sense to go back up and be good where we're supposed to be good.
Returning were Quebec's dynamic duo, Martin Saint-Louis and Eric Perrin, reunited with veteran line mate J.C. Ruud.
The team's key on Martin and Eric a lot, so that leaves me open in the slot most of the time. And, Martin and Eric are such great playmakers that they get me the puck in a great position, and hopefully I'll be there. I'll continue to be there to put it home.
A strong second line featuring seniors Phil Eberle, Matt Johnson, and Eric Lavoie promised to add firepower, as did senior Dale Patterson, junior Matt Stelgis, and sophomores Jason Hamilton and Vermont native Justin Martin.
We came in, got our jerseys, and he gave us all, Phil and I went down to the cage, got our stuff, both had white shirts on. I go, we all getting white this year? And he goes, no. We're like, who's the other white guy? He goes, Matt Johnson. We go, we knew right away. We're roommates. We live together.
So that's perfect.
Yeah, so we kind of clicked. So at night when we're complaining if we played bad, we talk amongst one another. If we're not skating well, if Matt's not skating well, and if I'm not skating well, or if we're not playing well, we pick it up. Come on, let's go. Yeah. We won't be negative towards one another in a demoralizing way, but we'll definitely pick one up.
The Cats also returned an unparalleled core of defensemen, led by senior Steve McKell of Lennoxville, Quebec.
Well, I think if you're closer as a team, you generally try a little harder for each other. You're gonna, make sure you stand up for your buddy as opposed to someone you don't like. And I think that sort of was the case this year. I know I was close to my defense during the year, and I think we all, we stuck together and we tried to do our best. And I think the same was with the forward lines. They all got together and they tried to, do the best they could as well.
Along with its outstanding Canadian players, this year Pavel Navrat and Jan Klobuchek, both of the Czech Republic, gave UVM a truly international team.
I played at home, but we didn't get that many fans. Even in Canada, it was just like 1,000 people the most. And then here, when I saw it last year when I came for a recruiting trip, it was unbelievable. The atmosphere and everything, what they do for you, it's just great.
Backstopping these 6 outstanding defensemen was junior goaltender Tim Thomas. Among the nation's leaders in numerous statistical categories all season, he would go on to be named an All-American, along with Perrin and St. Louis.
My role as goalie is to just stop the puck. It sounds simple, and
but it's something that I battle with every year because every team goes through slumps. When we're not scoring goals, I try to do more. Sometimes I catch myself doing more in net and like trying to pass the puck up more often or whatever. I'm trying to score goals myself, and I can't do that.
Add to this an eclectic mix of freshmen, including Stefan Piché, a promising scorer, defenseman and honor student Simone Tremblay, and talented goaltender Nolan McDonald. And the University of Vermont men's hockey team showed more promise than any team in recent memory.
The main factor for our team this year was that everybody knew their role, and we knew that we had a first line that was going to get a couple goals for us. We knew we had a goaltender and defense that were going to, only give up maybe 2 goals a game, and I think the rest of us really thrived on playing good defense and trying to get that goal here and there. But if we didn't get the goal and we stayed even for the game and we won the game, that was fine with us.
I think the key for this season and for future seasons is that the guys understand and the team understands that the reason for our success was certainly talent, was certainly a lot of hard work, but in my mind, the most important aspect was that the attitude in the team was just phenomenal. They came to work every day, they came to work having fun every day, and they didn't let any negative situation bring them down to a level of allowing that to happen again.
Recognizing the potential and promise of this team, the ECAC coaches voted it #1 in the preseason poll. And then in polls throughout the season, the Cats remained in the top 10.
Coming into practice, you don't know what to expect. You got a new team every year. You're told a lot about the freshmen and stuff, but you don't really know what anybody can do until you play the games, which is the same thing you go through every year. So all the hype before the beginning of the year, you can't get too excited about it because nobody really knows. They just, in our case this year, they just happen to guess right as far as the coaches go.
First game against UNH saw a purposeful and determined team take the ice before the Gutterson faithful. Defenseman Eric Hallman scored the season's first goal.
And you came out for this game?
Yes.
And it didn't hurt having your son score the first goal?
It was wonderful. It was great.
Would you have predicted that?
No.
No, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't have. I don't think any of the 3 of us would have predicted you in the first goal.
The second game of the season, a hard-fought loss to Boston University, showed the true spirit of this team. A gutsy group of team players determined to achieve more than any other UVM hockey team ever. And as Jan Klobacek demonstrated here, to enjoy their successes to the fullest.
Everybody was talking about BU like #1 in the country, and I think they were like #1 at the beginning of the season. And we played them, we lost by 1 goal, and the game was tied pretty much all game long, And I saw the players and the talent in the locker room, and it was just incredible. So I had high expectations too.
Talking about that BU game, you got your first goal in that game too. That's going to be kind of a memorable moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. I was really excited, as you could see on it,
And when you take a look at our first couple of games, we had a very good game against New Hampshire. And then we played, I thought, one of our best games against BU and lost. 2 of the best games I can remember this year were the BU and the Maine games. I thought that we did everything we had to do to win a game, and it just didn't fall that way. The kids never, ever, the second night, got so down that they didn't up-tempo their play. I don't remember losing a couple of games in a row. I don't think it happened. I can't remember, but that's the type of character that I think we had on the team.
I think we're not only teammates, I think we're really good friends. I mean, since I'm here, I think we never hang out that much, like together, so at our house where I live and stuff like that, besides being in the rink. And I think that's important, I mean, I live with JC, and Eric's my best friend. We play on the same line, So I mean, it's great. And you have the 3 seniors that live together and play in the same line. It's great chemistry, And then you have Hamilton, and Stelgis that lives together, play in the same line. And whatever you want to not look at this fact, but being a good friend, it's easier to play well together.
A close but nevertheless painful loss to Maine in the finals of the Governor's Cup tournament brought UVM fans a new sense of pride. This was a team that believed in themselves, that would not quit, and that would not accept defeat easily.
By the Governor's Cup tournament, when we played Maine in an excellent up and down game and could have gone either way, we knew then that we could compete with any team in the country.
The Cats finished out the first half of the semester with exciting wins over the GGs of Ottawa and the UMass Minutemen. The Ottawa game on December 3rd saw the season premiere of goaltenders Nolan McDonald and James Tierney, as well as diverse and plentiful scoring. The UMass win was spectacular, with J.C. Ruud scoring in the last seconds of overtime.
I think once you get satisfied in this kind of business, whether you're a player or a coach or whatever, I think somebody's going to pass you by.
Breathtaking, last-minute, heart-stopping goals epitomize this team. Who can forget Matt Johnson's game winner at RPI with only 26 seconds left? Or Martin St. Louis' empty netter against Harvard that clinched the regular season championship? Or Eric Perrin's save in the Lake State game that stopped a tying goal opportunity? Not a goal, but just as good as one. When all was said and done, this team was a pleasure to watch and treated their devoted fans not only to some great hockey, but also to some fun and special moments.
Comparing this year to my other 3 years, there's no comparison, you know, the camaraderie on the team, and I think it was just all around fun, like the teammates, the coaches, just pretty much everybody. The pressure wasn't there, it was just more of fun than pressure.
I enjoy being around the guys. We got a great group of guys. They all want to win, and it's just a great feeling in the locker room because we know we can do it.
But I have sat there and looked around just like, this is the greatest, you know, the greatest fans. It's just incredible hearing that noise, sitting there on the bench. It's great.
Beginning, I thought it was hard, all the training. It's not just like, it's a routine, you know. You like it to train, you like to be out with the guys every day. Junior, it's only 2 practices a week, so it's not the same. There's not enough game, I think, you know. It's only 30 games, so I would like to play more.
No, it's just such a special thing that I'm going to remember forever. I mean, just the group of guys, like a family, you know, going out for a goal and achieving, you know, far past our expectations. That was really what was so special about it.
And I still have shivers every time I get on that ice. And I think that's pretty much everybody's case.
In the second semester, an ECAC regular season championship and an NCAA tournament berth became more of a tangible reality.
The farther you got into the season, the more you began to believe in the team. There's luck involved. There's always luck involved. They didn't have a lot of injuries. then anytime you get into close games, it's the bounce of a puck. They had a couple of bounces go their way. They obviously had one very bad bounce of the puck go against them in the Colorado game.
As the season wore on, Clarkson and St. Lawrence pressed the Cats at every turn. Each game became like a playoff game, and the Cats repeatedly rose to the challenge.
And the kids responded to it. They had a great beginning. I think that their goals were as high, maybe even higher than my goals. I think some of the times that I've been here, the kids have unrealistic expectations. I think this year they were much more realistic, and they proved that they were ready to answer the bell.
You know, there was a lot of times where St. Lawrence was ahead in the league, and they were doing real well, and we lose against Clarkson. But the next night, you know, we come back, and you know, you realize that they're not far ahead, and if you beat them, you're right there with them. And I think we responded real well to that.
Defeating Harvard and Brown in the final weekend of the season brought UVM its first ever regular season championship. Winning that coveted title swelled the team and the Gutterson faithful with pride and a sense of accomplishment.
I guess the game that really meant a lot to me was there was a couple of them. There was at Harvard winning and at home, and seeing the crowd backing you up. It was just a great feeling. I'm sure we talked about it, you know, when we raised our sticks and like a salute to the crowd, because they really deserved it, and the place didn't get quiet for 5 minutes. That was an individual highlight.
A hallmark of this fine team was class, demonstrated here and again throughout the postseason in an ability to be gracious in both victory and defeat.
The highlight, you know, for me was to win, you know, the ECAC championship, well, the regular season, and I mean, it was just amazing, you know, the feeling of just everything. Everybody, there was 4,000 people in here after the game, and usually, you know, you don't see that, and like the energy that showed us, it was unbelievable, and just the whole team hugging each other and just congratulating each other. And another highlight was probably the goal in Cincinnati that Phil got, and I just. It was just amazing, and I wish that game, you know, ended on a different note, but, you know, there's nothing you can do about it now.
Knowing that an NCAA berth was theirs, the Cats set their sights on a trip to the Adirondacks. Anchored by an army of faithful followers, the Catamounts garnered many league honors, including all ECAC placements for Martin St. Louis, Eric Perrin, and Tim Thomas, an all-rookie spot for Jan Klobuchar, the Ken Dryden Award for goaltender Thomas, and the Player of the Year Award for Perrin. St. Louis and Perrin were also finalists for the prestigious Hobie Baker Award.
You know, when you lose, you know, you gotta, all right, that's tonight, you know, now let's put it back and get ready for tomorrow. Just like we did against Harvard. We lost against Harvard, you know, it was at Lake Placid. And, you know, for some people it was the end of the world, but for us, you know, we're like, hey, you know, tomorrow's another day. And, you know, we put that game aside. We could have went down on ourselves, lose against Clarkson, not get the bye, and just be in national tournament and one game and see ya. But, you know, we came back strong and won the game I think that we had to win down there, which was a Clarkson game. I think we were playing for the bye. So, I mean, no doubt, you know, I mean, we lost some games, but we came back strong right away, and that's why we went in the Final Four, because, like I said, when we won against Clarkson, it puts us right in the driver's seat. And having that bye being Lake Placid, being Lake State, and then going to Cincinnati.
Although UVM did not win the league championship in Lake Placid, they were ranked second in the East and received a valuable first-round bye in the NCAA playoffs in Albany.
We're a little bit anxious about being in Lake Placid and satisfying everybody and getting to where we wanted to get. But as I said earlier, I think their goals were a little bit higher than and loftier than just Lake Placid. It seemed to me that the way that they come out in the Clarkson game, understanding that win would probably get us the bye, really showed more character than ever. And after what Clarkson did to us home back here, that was probably the low point in the season for me, is to see a good Clarkson team come in and really whack us around. But again, the boys responded from it, just like they did at Harvard or at Placid. And then from then on, it was kind of like a Cinderella ending. It could have been even better than that if the puck bounced the right way out at Cincinnati.
UVM went on to defeat the Lake Superior State Lakers in a hard-fought game at Knickerbocker Arena.
My postseason highlight would definitely be my goal against Lake State when we made it 2-1, and I will never forget it. And I'm sure Graham still have nightmares about it, because he had that puck in his glove and he kind of rolled out of it. I was almost stopping, I was circling behind the net, and I was stopping. I was like, I see that puck come out of his glove, and I jumped on it and put it top shelf. But I think that was my highlight.
Well, winning the ECAC championship was great. Beating Lake Superior State was probably, for me, the epitome of what we did this year. I think it really brought the program to another level. It took the next step in terms of beating the national power, you know, and finally putting those doubts to rest, kind of thing.
And it was on to Cincinnati and the Final Four.
I don't think I realized what had gone on in Burlington when I was in Cincinnati. I mean, I think that when I got back to Burlington, I realized that if you were in the state of Vermont during that afternoon when we were in Cincinnati, everything stopped. Everybody found a place and watched that game. You know, you were either watching that game, listening to that game, or you were very sick that day, because it had that kind of impact. I think that people, if they weren't Vermont fans before going into that game, they came out of it Vermont hockey fans.
The Vermont fans got a lot of respect, you know, for showing up in Cincinnati like that. You know, I had almost a whole section, and a lot of people were surprised, but they just made a nice reputation of themselves, you know, really classy. You had some fans, you know, that are just, you know, they didn't show a lot of class like we did, and you know, our fans are something to be proud of.
You know, you gotta be in that position before you really know how to win those big games. And I think once we won the league, I think we believed in ourselves and believed that we could go far in the playoffs. As far as the Final Four, a lot better teams than us haven't gotten to the Final Four. You have to get your bounces, and we got some lucky bounces and played well, and it was our year.
If they ever remember a game that we played, and you know, when we'll be 40 years old, 50 years old, we'll probably remember that game being the Final Four. Even if we lost 4-3, you know, it's double overtime. I never played in such a good game like that. You know, I mean, it was a great game. It could have went either way. And playing 90 minutes of hockey, you know, it's playoff. That's what it's all about.
My highlight would probably be the goal. You know, CC tied it up. Me and Maddie working together. like we have been all year. So it was great. It was a great year. First game of the year, I was the player of the game, and the last game of the year, I was player of the game for George here. And what else can you say?
We all know what happened in Cincinnati on that faithful March day. This fine group of young men, this team that didn't know how to quit, that never gave up, scored 3 impressive goals on a sloppy, unplayable ice surface and lost the game on a questionable goal.
The Colorado College game is the one game in my 5 years here, or 6 years here, where I can't look back and say there was one kid on our team that didn't play well. It was phenomenal. The guys really rose the occasion and played a phenomenal game. And they got the bounce, and that's the difference in those type of games.
Returning home without an NCAA championship title, these Vermont Catamounts had won something perhaps more precious and enduring. A place in the hearts of this community, a place in the hearts of these fans, and a status of heroes to all who saw them play.
The year of the cat. Stay on, but the drumbeat strains of the night remain, and the rhythm of the newborn day. You know, sometime you're bound to leave her, but for now you're gonna stay in the year of the cat.
That's a terrific season. This is Tim Carney, president of the Friends of UVM Hockey, thanking you, our loyal fans, for your terrific support during the past season. The mission of the Friends of UVM Hockey is to provide financial and spiritual support of the hockey team through the year. If you want to become a member of the Friends of UVM Hockey, you can do so with as little as $25. Your membership entitles you to a newsletter giving you inside information about the team and also provides financial support for the operational, budget, and capital improvements to the rink, like the new sound system this year.
Order your copy of Vermont Hockey 95-96, a celebration of the best season ever. Call toll-free 1-888-CAT-VIDEO.
If you've just watched this tape and you're not a member of the Friends of UVM Hockey, you should be.